Welcome, everybody. I am your host, Arctic.
I'm Poppet.
I'm Pandy.
And we're
Fluffit
We're live. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Fluffit We're Live. Today, we're going to be talking about some cool, fun things. Maybe about consoles, maybe about PCs. I don't know. We'll see. However, first, we do have a voicemail caller. If you'd like to call in your question, or just to say hi, you can dial the number 701-205-1501. You don't have to say your name, but you can if you want. And again, that is 701-205-1501. All right, everybody ready for the voicemail?
Ready.
All right, here we go.
Hey, I was just wondering if y'all like making cupcakes. I kind of like making cupcakes, and if you do, what's your favorite cupcake to make? All right, love you guys. Bye.
That's an interesting question.
I just gotta say, I do in fact like cupcakes.
Well, he said like making cupcakes. Do you like to make cupcakes?
I like to eat them.
That's why I said I need clarification.
Well,
So as I listened, he said, y'all like making cupcakes. Excuse my accent.
First of all, let's define cupcake. Because what is a cupcake without icing?
Well,
Is that just a muffin? See, look, the
Muffin.
accent's coming out of me
No,
now.
there's different texture in there.
So is
Cake batter is different from muffin batter. And muffins do not have frosting on top.
Well, you heard that, caller. We do have a cupcake maker in the house. Tell us a little more about it.
No. Muffins are like, you go to Costco, you get those giant muffins. They can be giant too. Muffins are generally bigger than cupcakes. Cupcakes
Not
are
a sponsor.
standard sizes. Muffin tins are different sizes than cupcake tins.
What about the Martha White muffins? Not a sponsor.
What the heck is that?
You never heard of that? There's like little bags, and you just like mix it with milk or water.
Oh, just instant? I mean,
Like
they're still the same
those,
size.
but I've never made cupcakes before. But I love eating them.
I've helped him make cupcakes, and I'm also not a huge sweets guy, so I'm not the biggest fan of cupcakes. So,
I'm not a huge sweets guy,
You know
but I
what?
will eat it. And listen, Poppet, I will eat your cupcake any day.
wording it has to be worked on, but hey, it's all right.
You want to make me
I
a
like,
cupcake? I'll eat it.
You know what? I love cupcake frosting. Some people don't. I see people scraping frosting off. If you see those shows like Cupcake Wars, and the frosting is like 3 inches high. It's crazy. I'm like, who will eat all that? I like it, but I definitely think that's not realistic. It's really thick. You don't generally find cupcakes like that in the store unless it's a special cupcake store.
And plus, I feel like the icing makes the cupcake. Because here's my thing. Because like I don't like cake icing, but I feel like cupcake icing is a little different. You know what I mean?
I don't think it is.
It's supposed.
It's not.
Like it's because it's a smaller amount.
No.
At least on mine.
Okay, we should explain. The Yeti's allergic to many foods.
Yeah.
So I feel like you haven't had a lot of I mean, old school style cupcakes are very different from the gourmet giant, big stuff now. And the flavors are amazing. They're like half the frostings have like a complete flavor profile of their own that matches the cupcake.
Right.
Which is
And
just
I
like
didn't
cake.
know there was so
like
many different icings.
certain buttercreams, caramel brulee buttercream mixed with a brandy snap like batter. There's so many now. It's exciting, but it could be. Sometimes I hear them and I think that's way too much.
Literally what you just said, I almost like, I don't want that cupcake. That's too much.
You know what is funny? I really like carrot cake and carrot cake frosting.
Carrot cake's
Well,
good. I like
Give
carrot
me
cake.
cream cheese frosting. I love cream cheese frosting. Maybe it's like the
Cheesecake
cheesecake
is
of it.
just
Cream
Ooh.
cheese. All right, listen, guys.
Mm.
Listen, ladies and men. The path to a man's heart is through food.
Oh, 100%
And-
facts. 100%.
Poppet came over to my house and she made this most amazing cheesecake. Mind you, I had never eaten a cheesecake in my entire life. This is like
Easy,
when
you
we
can't
first met.
compare. It's like-
This is like when we first met. So like you know, we were still hanging out and everything, and like she came over and she made this this cheesecake.
Because
And I
it was
was
a
like,
crime.
oh
You-
my god.
You've never had cheesecake, and I could not
Like the
believe my
graham
ears.
cracker crust. Oh man, it was amazing. And I had my stepdad try it, and he's had a lot of cheesecake, and he even said that it was really good. One of the best that he's had. So
You're next, Pandy.
I am.
yeah, you gotta try some.
Listen, I'm a connoisseur of cheese in general, so I will.
Hey, you should come visit next time I visit, and we'll have some cheesecake.
So
Heck yeah.
Cupcakes.
We didn't
Yeah,
talk about the
cupcakes.
question. Do we like making
we
cupcakes?
just had food, and we went, let's go food.
so the answer to your question, caller, is no. I've never really made cupcakes per se, but I do enjoy them. And I don't have a favorite cupcake that I like to make, but I would have to say my favorite cupcake to eat would be something with like a berry vanilla with like a creamy icing, like a
strawberries.
cream cheese ice cream. Yeah, no strawberries.
No strawberries. So as close to a cheesecake without being a cheesecake is what I'm hearing.
And also, you should comment and let us know what your favorite
Yeah.
cupcake to make
What's your
is.
favorite cupcake?
Or
What about
or
you,
just
Papa?
eat. You know what? If you don't want to make it, eat. What's your favorite cupcake?
Eat. Yeah. That was fun. We've had 2 food-related calls now.
But you never told us, Papa, what your favorite one to make is.
Well, I've repressed it from my memory because I currently don't have an oven.
Right. It's been rough.
Thanks for bringing it up. No, just kidding. You know, I think a good gooey chocolate one sounds good.
That does
But
sound
I
good.
am a big fan also of like something like an orange zest cupcake with vanilla frosting or something. That would be nice.
Oh yeah, like those Hostess ones you had me try that one time.
You know,
Yeah,
my
but
favorite
without
kind
the
of cupcake.
preservatives.
My
Right.
favorite kind of cupcake is an edible one. And that's it. There you go.
Well said, my friend. So, sweet things aside, well, actually, we're bringing some more sweet things in because we're talking about Monster Hunter Wilds.
Ooh.
Mhm.
That is a pretty sweet game.
Are you saying that we're about to get on our wild side?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've finally been playing it a bit, doing
Oh,
a little bit
yeah.
of the grind. Not as far as we
Not what we want to
as
be.
we could be, but I feel
And-
like we have a fair idea of things now.
And first, for everybody listening and or watching, we haven't got very far into the game, but if you haven't played it all and you care about spoilers or anything, just go ahead and take a look at the timestamps and skip forward to the spoiler-free zone. Having said that, we shall continue.
All right.
So,
Pandy,
tell us,
love.
Pandy,
What? Yeah. What?
what is your favorite part of the game so far?
yes. What do you
I-
love about the game?
Favorite part of the game so far is honestly the controls, or like the feeling of the weapons. I feel like I have the best control in this game, and I'm using a brand new way to play it. I'm using mouse and keyboard for the first time, and
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's
right.
actually well like laid out, so it actually feels like good to use. I feel like I can easily flow between my skills and stuff, and so far I would say the controls my favorite part.
I mean, I think the controls are way better than when they were in the beta.
100%.
I'm enjoying it much more, but I'm still don't feel like I can do as much maneuvering and damage at the same time as what I did in previously with the Kinsect glaives.
But
it's still great. It's just I'm not doing all the tricks and things I used to.
So let me say something about that, because I kind of feel you there with that, because I'm using dual blades, and I feel like in Worlds, like I used to do all this crazy maneuver stuff, be able to fly through the air, and though you can do some of those things and
like the run down the spine
really
thing
cool
you did.
things, you can still do that, but it feels like it's harder to get to that point. And I'm almost wondering,
we have to work for it a lot more.
I'm almost wondering if like we have to upgrade our gear to a certain point, because I remember in Worlds, or was it the other one, the Monster Hunter Lite?
Prize?
That's what I that's what I call it.
Oh my goodness, it was beautiful. Thank you very much.
It's a great game, but it was made for Switch and consoles, so like it's a little bit lighter.
Yeah, but there were things that I really loved about that game too,
right?
That I missed. But we'll get to that later.
But essentially, there was, as you would upgrade your gear, you would have different things for your demon abilities and things like that, and you would unlock more and more. So I'm wondering if, as we go down the line, if we will get back to that point that we felt in like Worlds and stuff like that.
That's why I'm like, well, that's what I miss. I feel like it's a bit more work, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I can't say because I'm not there yet. I'm still in the fresh zone, I would think. I'm definitely not armored up to the max yet. I'm waiting for my tree to open, so I know exactly what I want to get. I'm just holding off.
Right. And spoiler alert, we just got to, we finished, I don't remember his name. It was the gigantic ice beast.
Oh, it's the Jin something.
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah, I'm really bad with the names too.
I feel
beasts are amazing.
In Wilds, it's very wound reliant, because I'm not able to do the spine move where I like go all the way down the spine unless I attack a wound. And I feel
the wound thing is new, right? I don't remember that before. The wound would the wound would glows now, and then you have to focus on it and you have to destroy the wound. Was that in any previous ones?
No, nothing I know of. And though I think that is cool, I think it's kind of sucks if you're in a group and somebody keeps on getting the wound every single time, and like nobody else can experience the wound, like do your little cool wound move. So I think it might be cool if they implemented something to where you could, like, everybody gets a turn on the wound. I probably could have said that better. But you get what I mean. And like maybe like if somebody doesn't attack the wound within 5 seconds, then it is destroyed or whatever. But yeah, not naming any names, but somebody continuously takes these wounds and destroys them, and other people don't have a chance to do their cool thing.
Is that you?
Maybe.
I was also looking around because I'm like, that doesn't sound like me. Totally not. Never. Well, yeah. I will say though, I do tend to take wounds because I'm using the charge blade, and it buffs up my axe every single time I do special strike the wound, so I get like a buff out of it. So it's actually pretty useful for me because I basically can just keep using my elemental damage for like as long as my axe is buffed. So
well, whenever I'm using the bow, so you have to hold the left trigger on the controller in order to see or reveal the wounds, and I'm constantly holding that because that's what you have to hold in order to use the bow. So I always see immediately when a wound pops up,
the left trigger,
and all I have to do is tap R1 and hold it to lock onto place, and then wait 3 vibrations, and boom, wound
That's what she
destroyed.
said. Sorry.
See, all I gotta do is press. Well, it's Alt, but I have it set to one of my mouse buttons. I press that button. I'm forever in focus mode until I press it again, and then I press Shift, and I've done my wound attack. Done.
Well, see, with dual blades, it's very hard because, by the way, I'm dual blades and bow. Pandy, your charge blade, and what else?
Light bow gun. It's mostly just there,
Right.
just to be there. I don't ever really use it.
Yeah, that's was my second.
And Puppet, your kinsect and kinsect. Well,
I'm actually
I've never seen you
and
use
dual
another
blades,
one.
but I don't switch.
Yeah. So, what is your secondary?
Dual blades.
Dual blades. Okay. Yeah, dual blades is very fun, but what I was gonna say is that it's a little harder to get those wounds, especially if they're on top, because there's no jump.
There's not, but that's where a kinsect comes in handy because I can vault into the air.
Right, and you can't do that with
Much
dual blades, so it's more difficult to get the higher up ones. And the aiming, you can't really lock on to the wounds with dual blades, so you kind of have to get a precision strike to hit that wound. So it's a little more complicated, but...
Well, what do you love about Monster Hunter Wilds, Yeti Man?
I love a
Honestly,
lot of
I have a list.
I'm loving the stories so far, even though I've skipped through a lot of things. The videos and stuff that come with it are really cool.
Almost like Final Fantasy proportion cutscenes.
Right.
You know? They're
There's
big. There wasn't like that in Rise. The storyline was good in Rise, but I don't recall them ever being this long. And
I
the
feel
story
like
really
Rise was
interesting.
designed to just like spam monster hunts. You know?
No. Like World was the same. There wasn't a lot of story in World. Was there any story in World?
I can tell you the
Some
story
story
of
in World,
World in a sentence.
There we go. So like in Wilds though, it's complicated. I'm like, what? We're talking about, you know, I can't say. I don't want to spoil it all, but like it's detailed and it's complicated and about.
I mean, we
all
did
these
give
new
a spoiler
monsters.
warning. So
You know,
if you
but-
wanted to talk about it.
But you know what I'm saying. There's like if you're not listening, you ain't understanding
Right.
what's going on. Like, why are they glowing? Why are there these crystal things forming around them? What do they get from that? You know, why is this all happening?
I do like my horse. It's
I was about
pretty
to say about the mount.
The bird raptor, the
Secret.
bird
cool.
horse.
The sacred, yeah.
the
Sacred.
secrets.
How
Well,
do
and that
you
was the funny
pronounce
thing
it?
because we
Secret.
were not completely sold on them in the beta. Like, oh my gosh, this thing is auto running. What? How do I stop it? God damn it! It's running,
Right.
and we're running into walls. And
But then we're like, yeah,
now that
the
we
auto run.
got it under control, it's like
Like we
we
loved
were
auto
cursing
run.
the horse that was going on autopilot, and now we actually know how to control it. We're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
But
weird
it comes
thing
in handy
about
when
it,
we're
though,
like, where the hell are we going?
is it
Just
gives
set-
I'm sorry, it gives a slide or a glide feature, but it doesn't allow you to jump off of ledges, which I find is a little weird.
I find that it does restrict how much of the world you can explore too, which makes me a little sad. When Rise, you could just zip and fling everywhere you wanted, you know. But,
Right.
you know, I will say that those secrets, that they have saved my life. Like, that's how I drink potions without getting killed by
Oh,
a
yeah.
monster. Because,
Oh, yeah.
you know, if you drink a potion, you stand there to get the maximum effect, right? But if you do that, that monster, he's coming for you.
Oh, he coming. But
So
if
you get on that
this-
secret
the
and you
sacred,
just
yeah.
whistle and you are zipping out of there, drink your potion, jump off again.
Sharpen your blade, you
mhm.
know, you can do whatever you need.
You could shoot off
Drink a
the
hot
sacred.
drink.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, you can even attack on, like, you can do mounted combat.
Mhm.
It's not that
Mhm.
great, like, but you can still do it, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was an interesting new feature. I mean, I find it restricts you, but it's actually very helpful in surviving, having it.
Right.
What about?
But I do want to
I already
say
mentioned how I
another
miss-
thing
Oh,
that
okay.
that I do like about it is the graphics and the beautiful landscapes. It's really beautiful, especially the forest. The forest I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And the blacksmith. I mean the lava place.
Yeah.
The graphics are great if you can handle them.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you can handle them.
Because it was killing a lot of people's cards. Like on the launch day, a lot of people came into my work with busted graphics cards because it just killed their computer. I felt so bad for them.
Yeah, the
but
optimization not the best.
But it's because it's a AAA game, yeah, and it's they kind of didn't fuck around with
I'm okay with
the minimum requirements are pretty high.
Yeah,
I think you have to have at least 8 gigs of VRAM.
You do.
So yeah, it's a little rough on that. So which we'll be talking about later. The difference between playing PC and console. I think
I've
that's
seen
one
it on
thing.
both. It's pretty good on a giant TV as well. Just saying.
Right.
But one of the other things I really it's just a small thing that I found funny is that the clothing, you have 2 options. I wouldn't even say male or female. I guess one is supposed to be more masculine, but it's kind of fun to have 2 versions of your armor, of your body, your legs, or your hands. Because some of them, I actually prefer the masculine version more than the female.
And some of them, I like
the helmets
feminine
and things
version better.
Yeah.
I like mixing and matching them.
Yeah, I've actually really enjoyed it. At first, and they're like, "Oh, it's genderless." I'm like, "Whatever." Yeah. What does that even mean? But it's actually been really fun. I just feel like you have 2 options of clothing, and you can mix and match them. It's really fun.
It's the first time we've been able to do that because usually it's just like if you picked a male character, you got that version of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I actually really enjoy that. That's really fun.
If I want to
fun
wear a
thing about
skirt and feel a nice breeze of air underneath, I can do that.
But sometimes they're both skirts, but one is shorter than the other.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. Which one? The short skirt, the long skirt?
I would imagine that the short skirt they probably have in the feminine side. I don't know, maybe the male side, you never know. Show them glutes off.
Well,
Whatever floats your boat.
Doesn't matter what gender you are, you can have that cake, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the model creation in this game is really nice.
Customization is just amazing in this game.
Right.
Voice pitches and
the way it's integrated in, like you go to the story and you're like, whoa, I look amazing. That's exactly what I created. And you don't look like you're standing in front of a blue screen or just,
One thing I don't like, though, which I understand because they had one person voice the male and one person voice the female. So there's not a lot of difference in the voices, but you're allowed to pick your voice. But all it is modulated pitch frequency.
Right, so you sound crazy.
Yeah, like I tried to match the same deepness as my voice, but it sounds so modulated. So I don't know. I'll probably have to change
you
it.
talking? Mm-hmm. What about the stars of the show? Always with Monster Hunter Palicos. How you feel about the Palicos this game?
I'm sad that they don't cook for us. I know you are too.
Me too. That was one of those moments in Rise that everyone was like, "Hit the button, let's go," and I'm like, "I'm watching."
No, I need my bunny dango. You
can skip the cutscene. I'm like, but why?
Yeah, and the Dango song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Dango song. I loved it. I'd sing along every time. It was like a happy moment watching cats cook for me, whether it was Dango or steak or sushi. So, but they did counter that, right, by adding in big palico cuts, like, you know, the Woodwoods and things like that. Like they have a different way of stealing the show, but I still miss being able to interact with them.
There was a scene where like 3 of them are trying to carry a big ass piece of steak.
Yeah, it was the supplies were getting attacked. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I feel like personally the reason why they removed that is because people were taking so long eating, and they still do a little animation, but it's like short and sweet.
It means they were doing something right.
Well, I also think for the food things, because we don't really have a hub in this game. It's just like base camps. It's the whole thing. We're supposed to be exploring. You can eat literally whenever. So
you can.
I wonder if they will add a hub in the future.
I feel like they will. I feel like there will be.
I feel like we need to explore more palicos too. I did love how one of us would have like a palico launching bombs while the other was, you know, spraying potions everywhere. And
yeah,
I didn't feel like mine. It says, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you," and then it pops a potion on me. But it's not because I made a healing palico or, you know, something specific, job specific. But maybe that's just later on. I'm hoping so.
I wanna say something real quick. Monster Hunter devs, if you are listening right now, let us have our palicos and our pals. We want both. You can increase the difficulty of the monster.
What do you mean when we fight something?
Yeah. When we fight something as a group, you can increase the difficulty per person / palico, but let us have the palicos, because it's so sad when you have a full group and you don't even get to have fun with your little palicos.
I think it's worse when you don't have a full group and you still lose your palico.
Yeah, like 2 people. Yeah,
we've had palicos with 2 people.
2 people you still have your palico, but once you get to 3,
yeah,
all of them are gone.
I just think they are such an integral part of the whole world.
And I understand why they did
Hunter.
it, because it would be too OP, but they could simply fix that by making the monster.
Do you think it was
difficult.
OP or that it was just too much graphically to handle? I feel like it was more that than being OP. I think we still get the buffs we would from our palico. They're just not present on the screen. That's what I feel.
I don't think we get the buffs.
We don't.
But usually they do. They level the monster according to, if we have 4 people, the monster's going to be harder.
Right. So why can't they do that with palicos too, you know? And I don't think it's because it would be graphically intensive, because there's a lot of times where we're fighting monsters out in the wild and we still have like hundreds of monsters around us, like the generic bitches, grazing and stuff. So if that was the case, then they'd probably get rid of those too while we were in mid-fight. So honestly, I think it's just because they don't want it to be too OP. But all I'm saying is level up the monster in regards to how many people in palicos there are.
You know, in the Monster Hunter movie, I've watched it many times. But the one thing that, you know, people went on about, a lot of things about it, I kind of enjoyed it. It was fun seeing some things come to life. However, the one thing I did get sad about was that there really wasn't many palicos. When, let's be real, palicos are the star, stealers of the show in all of them. You know, They should be there a bit more. They're a big part.
I wouldn't agree with that, but because in the older games, they were mostly just like a little enemy on like the map. That was all they were. But they're so cute.
Well, I mean, like from Worlds on.
Yeah.
From World, Rise, they're a big part of the character. People love them. I mean...
Yeah, once we were able to customize them and have our own, I care more about my palico than my characters.
Yeah. For real.
Mine's
You're
little
like,
Bowsy.
I can
So
make a
cute.
mini armor suit on a cat. Let's go.
And like he wears the little hat. He's so
and you can be
cute.
matchy. Like, who cares
Yeah.
about buffs? I get to match my cat. Like,
I will also say, I think in this game, more than the past like ones we were able to customize your Palico, this one's the most important because it's part of all the cutscenes in the story. Part of all of them,
Right.
and it has voice lines. Like,
And in this one, it's really weird if you have, for me at least, it's really weird if you have it on English. So I just put it on feline.
yeah, I need to put mine back. I forget every time I go in, but I need to. It's not necessary.
Because it's cute little cat
It doesn't-
talk, you know? I don't need
It
to.
breaks the immersion.
I don't need to feel like I have Elmo with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, I just
Don't-
then we need the Palicos, and no matter how big the
Yeah.
group is, because I think the Palicos just, especially in this one, are too integral to like the story and the world
Mhm.
in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I freaking love the game. I can't stop thinking about it. I want to play it. But there is one big thing that I have a beef with that is so difficult to maneuver through, and I don't know why. And that's getting in a freaking multiplayer, you know?
Oh,
The lobby.
no.
The link group. I'm still figuring it out. What's, you know, the link environment versus link group invitation, you know, link party.
So,
And then being on Xbox versus being on PC. I mean, there's error codes that pop up and you have to have a lobby ID and then do the link party. Like, it's just a huge multi-step process that you have to figure out. And
So-
mm.
from what I've gathered, a link party basically means that we're all linked together. We're in separate environments, but we're all linked together so that if any of us start attacking a monster, the other ones are immediately notified and can join the quest.
Do you have
stat.
to be in a lobby to be in a link party?
I don't even think you have to be in the same lobby to be in a link party. But link environment, that means that you're in the same environment. But the thing so like if you were to walk outside, you would see your homie. But the thing is that confuses me is you cannot do any quests or post quests or join quests when you're
we
doing
did that and we couldn't join each other's quests.
Right. So it's purely exploration, I feel like. So if you're wanting to hang out with your homies and kill monsters, then honestly just get in a link party. Whenever somebody smacks it, it'll start a quest and notify everybody else and they can join. Private lobbies are nice as well. But like you were saying with the Xbox and the PC, yeah, it's cross-platform, cross-play. But there is a lot more difficulties, I feel like, that we've experienced with doing the crossplay.
I feel like it's
than
easy for
just
me to
PC.
just click on you guys as hunter friends and join you wherever you, whatever, you know,
Right.
than it is to click on an Xbox friend or PlayStation
Absolutely.
friend, whatever.
Actually, the
It
menus
was a process.
are just kind of bad in this one.
Right.
And I think a major problem
They're a little
because of that.
convoluted.
Yeah, a little convoluted. But I think the major problem with that is because we don't have a hub. It's just,
Yeah.
I think the hub kind of like makes it easier to group up with everybody. But
Mhm.
not having that now, it's bad. They
Give us a
have work to do.
hub, bub.
Hubba, hubba, hubba.
Hubba, hubba. But yeah, I think.
Hubba, hubba.
Oh my.
Hey guys, Arctic here. I just wanted to apologize that I will not be doing Arctic's Tech Wizard and Weather today. However, I did want to show you this cool AI image. I asked ChatGPT to depict everything that it knows about this podcast. And it generated this picture. Obviously, there was some other ones that weren't as good, but this was the one that turned out the best. If you're listening, hopefully you can definitely check it out on the video later. Or we might even post it on social media. So make sure you're followed. We have Instagram, maybe someday Twitter, Blue Sky, and YouTube, where we also post our videos there as well. But anyways, tonight is not a blue moon, but a blood moon, which is pretty crazy. Hasn't been seen in about 100 years or so, I believe. So I'm trying to get some footage of that with my GoPro tonight. So if it all turns out well, next segment, next episode, I'll show you guys what it looks like. But anyway, that's it for me this week. And yeah, Pandy's going to be talking about some pretty cool stuff with a new game coming out. So yeah, on to you, Pandy. Enjoy the show.
Welcome everybody to another installment of Patchnotes with Pandy. I'm your host, Andy, and today we're talking about Fragpunk. Fragpunk recently came out. I don't have too much time on it yet, I will admit, but I do want to talk with you guys about it, like my early thoughts on it, and maybe where they can improve on certain things. But I will say, the foundation is pretty good. I will say that. So my pros for the game is the art style. I like how the characters look. I like kind of like the cell shading it's got going on. Kind of reminds me of like a Borderlands in a sense. I think the lancers all look great. The weapons look great. And then also you have the gameplay. Honestly, it's like a tactical shooter, kind of like Valorant, but then also it's honestly, it's more fast paced though. Got abilities, like it's like a hero shooter mixed with it's like a Valorant, we'll say, because I know that's also a hero shooter. You know, gameplay is fast, it's fun. You got about 7 rounds, 3 attack, 3 defense. I think it's first to 4 wins, basically. So you can't sometimes just clean sweep. Pretty good so far, I will say for that. My negatives though don't really come from the gameplay or the art style or anything. It's more of, it is free to play. The microtransactions are a bit up there, I won't lie. Mostly the one I don't like is how expensive the heroes are, or the lancers in this game. I have about 3-ish hours, I will say, at the time of this recording, and I have about 1,800 currency, and it takes about 18,888 of free currency to unlock, or you can spend real money and get one for $5. So I will say, and obviously there's a lot of like cosmetics and store stuff that also costs some money. I also don't even know if it's guaranteed. It might be loot boxes, I don't know. Have not purchased anything with real money, so I cannot give you on that. I'm trying to stay free to play. I just think we're getting to the point where I think microtransactions are a bit extreme out there. Like I said though, pros, the base of the game, great. The art style, the gameplay, all feels fantastic. I just think it's a bit greedy with the microtransactions. It feels like they want you, like, it feels to the point where they want you to spend money, not because you enjoy the game, but it kind of like forces you to spend money, if that makes sense. Other than that, I think it's a great game. I do still recommend it if you want to try it out, because it is free to play. I do not gel well with how they do their microtransactions, but you guys can let me know how you guys think about it. But Fragpunk has been pretty good so far. I'm probably gonna still play it. I still enjoy the game, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well. And that's been it for me on this episode of Patchnotes with Pandy. Bye.
Pandy.
Yes.
If you were to be part of the team that created a hub for Wilds, what would it be like? Would it be like Worlds, or would it be like Monster Hunter Lite?
I honestly, I think Rise's hub was better, anyways. But I kind of like the base camps, like how they are designed. But like, there's not one like a central location where you like just like kind of group up and go anywhere.
So yeah, because like in Worlds, you had to go to like the 4th floor and then go to the hub. Right, and nobody else was anywhere, but you couldn't see anybody else unless you went to the hub area. And I think it should be like that. But right now, I feel like they have it to where you can see everybody in the base camp. So maybe they're trying to make the base camp a hub, but it's just not really hubbing. You know what I mean?
It's not the same. But I also think the hub, because like you can't get to every single like locale going through other ones. You know, you don't have to fast travel. But I think it'd be better if there's just an actual hub like in the middle between all of them. You can just like go to one and then come back to the hub, and keep going out. Not just 5 separate base camps. So
absolutely. So you heard us, devs. Give us a hub. It's all the hubbub.
Give us a hubba, you know what I'm saying?
So Pandy, you use keyboard and mouse.
I do use keyboard and mouse.
It's the first time that you've done that. I tried it once. I didn't mind it, but I kind of went back to. I do a little bit of a hybrid thing. Puppet, you use controller as well, and then I think you use mouse and keyboard for settings. So for this game, this is the thing that I was talking about earlier. So there's a sort of not really an algorithm, but a piece of code that kind of uses AI frame generation to make the game as pretty but be able to be handled on a console. So therefore, I feel like it's not as intensive, like resource intensive for the console. So also the thing is like if something goes wrong on console, like you're getting errors and stuff, the bad thing about it is that you are basically fucked. You have to wait for Xbox to fix it. With PC, you have, lots of different troubleshooting techniques that you can take in order to work around it or get it to work better. But then again, you're having to use more resources on your computer and having to upgrade your equipment and things like that. So what do you guys think? Not even about just Monster Hunter Wilds, but in general about gaming on console and gaming on PC.
Well, here's the thing, right? Pandy, why do you play this on PC?
Monster Hunter Wilds or just games in general?
Mm-hmm. This is really designed for console. Why do you do it on PC?
I just like mouse and keyboard more.
You just like... Mm-hmm.
And so like even with past Monster Hunters, I try to do mouse and keyboard, but it was just the key mapping was terrible. Could not do it. This one they actually kind of fixed that, so like I actually can play on it with mouse and keyboard. So,
well, I've been trying to think about this. Like, why do we choose one over the other? So I have a list of games that we all kind of play. You tell me, PC, console, Overwatch.
PC.
Why?
I feel like, for myself, I feel like I have more control with my aim.
Because you shoot. I don't shoot.
And
I mean, I've done both, and I loved both. I think the pool of people you play with is different.
And I also think it's easier to use your abilities on PC.
Right.
What
But
about-
also with me, it's a little weird if I'm sniping. I kind of prefer controller, but overall FPS, definitely keyboard and mouse.
So this
Is it 'cause
all
of aim
FPS in
assist?
general. What about like Tiny Glade? PC or console? Or controller?
I've never played it, so
I
Well,
would say
I-
PC.
probably PC though.
PC. I kind of like it too because there's little things to click on. I do want to be able to pinpoint design things.
Right, and you're
Well, like-
stretching it out and
Okay.
stuff, and that's a little
Mhm.
more difficult to do
Or,
with a
you know.
controller.
It's like Sims. I prefer on PC because easier to
Mm,
get things
Right.
right position.
yes. What about like Pokemon Unite? If that was available on PC, what would you know? What,
PC.
What would
You know, I feel like maybe PC
would you do
because
controller on it though?
No,
no,
PC.
Keyboard and
'Cause-
mouse PC?
because like I'm
And
used
think
to
about
League of
League, right?
Legends.
Didn't
and
you say it's
stuff,
like
yeah.
League? Yeah.
Right.
But the thing is also like it also would be just better optimized like viewing wise and control wise because I love the Switch, but it's kind of bad. It's kind of bad.
Do you think they only did it on Switch because their target audience is also children?
No, it's Pokemon. That's it.
Well, Nintendo, yeah, but do you know what I'm saying, though? Like, you know, I know there's adults as well, but I'm just saying, like, little kid is not going to have an amazing PC to play on either.
I mean,
I don't know.
You don't need a high-end PC to play League of Legends. You can have a potato and it would work.
Mm.
I don't know. Kids are spoiled
That too.
nowadays. I had to repair a laptop the other day at work, and it was some snotty kid came in, like just a young little feller, and his
Bless all
dad
you snotty kids out there just saying right now.
his dad was like, his camera's not working, and like I was like, okay, I'll fix it or whatever, and I go to fix it, and the kid had slobbered all over his hand. It was all over the laptop, on the keys, on the thing. I wanted
How
to
little
die.
was this kid? Slobbering
I don't know,
slops
like,
around 6 or 7.
Somewhere around 11 to 14, which is
That's
a sad thing.
weird. That's weird.
And I felt so grossed out about it. So
Yeah.
if you're taking your computer in for repair, do not slobber on it, please.
Well, I think the problem is the slobber. You know.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
But one thing I wanted to say is there's pros and cons with both. So the cool thing about PC is that you can kind of switch back and forth between what you want to do. Like you can play some games on keyboard and mouse. You can play some games on controller and switch back and forth in between. On console, you can't really do that.
I mean, you
But-
can, but don't you feel like people have like this? Like I'll admit, I'm a filthy console player. They brought me up from the streets. I'm here on PC now. But you know, there's a little bit of a you're on console attitude.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not even because it would be better on, you know, too. There's a little bit of that. Sometimes I think
Right.
people play, it's like Apple versus Android, you know, there's a bit of a thing there.
I think more for at least because I play a lot of FPSs. A lot of
Mhm,
console
you do.
players are just like, well, not console PC players are more like, well, you have aim assist, otherwise you wouldn't be that good.
Right,
It's just like,
right.
Yeah.
listen, if I played console, I'd be shit. I would have aim assist and be garbage. All right,
Whatever.
Right.
Don't worry, Pandy's
But-
amazing.
but
Afraid.
the one thing I like about Overwatch, and I think all shooter games should do it, is their competitive is only like if you're on controller, you can't play a console. You cannot play with PC players, so you don't have the advantage of aim assist.
Right. They immediately, if you're in comp,
And
you can
comp,
play regular, but not comp.
yeah, it's not comp because I remember it happening with Apex Legends. The aim assist was just so much better to use than mouse and keyboard, that their competitive scene was like 90% controller.
So I'm guessing if I said Marvel Rivals, you would both be PC?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. How about Red Dead Redemption?
Controller.
Mm-hmm.
Mouse and keyboard.
Controller all the way.
But you see, this one's a tricky one because it really could be either one, right?
Yeah, this one.
I kind of feel like it's like how you started with it. You know what I mean?
But it doesn't. It's not like live or die PC
Right.
only. You can only do this PC. It's beautiful on a PC.
There used to be a thing like with consoles that they would be like, well, you can't sit at a couch and play PC or whatever. You can't chill back, but you can now because we have wireless controllers if we wanted to use the controller.
You can.
So,
I know some people that walk in front of their TV on their Xbox and they jump up and down. And they even got a bigger TV screen and they still jump up and down in front of it. And I'm like, I don't think you would. I think your computer would fall off the desk if you did that. And,
But here's the biggest difference, I think, with console and PC. Well, number one is the hardware. Custom PCs are always going to have better hardware than consoles. But the portability of console is always going to far outweigh any desktop custom PC.
This might be a stupid question, but I know you're saying then that the hardware of the console will never be as good as like the constantly upgrading PC and the stuff you can do to change your PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you've got your console hooked up to an amazing TV that takes up your entire wall,
Mm-hmm.
Does that kind of outweigh some of the other things from a PC?
No, because if you had it connected to your PC on that amazing TV, then it would look even better.
And I could do that on my laptop, but that's a lot of work.
Right, it is. So that's the thing with consoles, and I feel like, and that's why some people are like, "Oh, as a console player," because it's the easy way out. It's simple, easy, and some people I feel like think it's the lazy way. You know what I mean?
They do, but I mean, not everything has to be hard to mean it's better.
Mm-hmm. But some things are better when they're hard.
Smarter. Oh my God.
I think also with
Work
PC,
smarter, not harder.
I will say also for
Right.
PC that's just better is I don't have to pay for Xbox Live or PSN or the Switches just to use internet. I pay for the internet and I'm good.
And that's so bullshit. That's such a bullshit marketing scam. It's like you're already paying for your internet, but now you got to pay for internet. Like PSN.
You have to pay to use the internet on this device. What?
Right.
True.
That's messed up.
But in some ways, we do have to do that in Steam when it's like, here, create your Rockstar account or your Battle.net account.
But that's still free. I don't have to.
Right.
It is. This is also something else. You can get a physical game from whether it's Switch, PlayStation, Xbox. You can get that disc. It's not just floating in the void, that ownership thing we've discussed for a couple weeks now. There is that as well. That's a pro.
I mean, even some games, though, are not even having CDs anymore. It's just like a code inside a case.
Shut it, Pandy.
I'm just saying. I would rather have this.
You're right.
But
You're right. I've seen that. Yeah.
I would rather have that, but just sometimes they don't even do that anymore. So it's like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No, you're right. Like to play online, whether it's Animal Crossing, Splatoon, you gotta have that Nintendo subscription.
Yeah.
But let me say this. The consoles are designed for ease of access with the controller. When I'm laying in bed or something or on the couch, and and we're just hanging out or cuddling or whatever, it's a lot easier on Xbox or PlayStation or whatever to like pull up a game, start playing it, do your thing, and then you can just stop whenever. Unless you're in big picture mode, which first of all, it's a little difficult to get there from a controller to begin with on PC.
I sometimes accidentally do it.
It's a lot more difficult to.
Or sitting in a computer chair. Like there is value to lay in your bed.
Right, and you can lay in your bed and play on PC, but what I'm saying is like the controller isn't going to easily take you there unless you're in Steam Big Picture mode or something of the sort. You're going to have to use your mouse to get the Steam open and then play the game. You can't switch games easily.
That shit ain't happening.
Right.
I'm in bed. It's falling asleep in my hands.
Absolutely, and that is one nice thing about console, I'll say. And like I said in the last podcast, it is koala approved.
I will also say for consoles, that's a big up is their exclusives. Because PCs don't really get exclusives,
No.
What do you mean by exclusives? I think I know, but I want to make sure.
Nintendo has Mario, has Link. It's only on that console.
PlayStation Spider-Man.
They'll eventually come on a PC, but it's like 3 years after it first came out. So like,
right,
they have all of this before it even comes to PC. And
The Last of Us was another PS4.
So
Xbox Game Pass has a lot of like good, brand new, top of the line games in there available as well.
That's true. Game Pass.
I just always wonder, when I know we sometimes play with a controller, but we're sitting in front of a computer. Why do we choose to sit in front of a computer versus our bed and Xbox? You know what I mean?
Because we would fall asleep.
My chair is really comfy, even though it's broken, and I don't have an Xbox, so that doesn't help me. But
right.
when I did have an Xbox, I still rest in my chair because it's comfy.
Well, even you, Yeti, you play Switch, but you generally use a controller or take off your Joy-Cons, and you put your Switch on a big TV. I sit there like a little old granny with my Switch up near my face, and I just play it like right there.
Yeah, I can't do that. It's too small
he
for
hates
me.
it. So I'm like, but it's a Switch. It's okay. But then we take these consoles and we flip them on the screen like they're PC. You know what I mean? We kind of flip things and just try and make them one consolidated,
I think
system,
for console-wise, the Switch is probably the best just because it does have that handheld mode or on a dock, like on a screen.
Right, it's
dock
really nice.
or
Switch
controller. And, being able to play with so many of your friends at one time is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. I think Switch nails it, honestly.
I just feel like there hasn't been a whole lot of great games coming out on the Switch lately. Like I keep looking.
They're probably holding the release for the Switch 2.
There is.
I'm excited for that.
That is coming out this year still. So
we're probably going to be more towards Christmas, I would say, because they pushed it back.
You always wait till Thanksgiving or Christmas.
If they pushed
Especially
it back, then
Nintendo,
that means
everything.
my Pokemon games. I don't even know my Pokemon games.
Pokemon, they usually always release at Thanksgiving.
Pokemon.
I feel Thanksgiving and Christmas always.
I will definitely say
both.
Nintendo probably the most useful console to get because they have the most exclusives and they never come out on PC or any other console.
Or drop their prices. No. Never.
Let me just say this. Whether you play on PC, whether you play on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, whatever you do, hell, even mobile games, we're all here to be gamers and have fun. So let's stop fighting each other. Let's just all love each other, We're all gamers. We're all here to have a good time. And, I think even the console companies have developed this mindset as well. And the console wars are coming to an end.
Well, I mean, it
Say
is,
that's because of
but
Xbox.
you get in those lobbies and they're like, they're very judgy. And I'm like, I remember when I first switched, I was like, I don't want them to know I'm on console. And now I brag about it because I think it's funny.
Right. So if you're listening and you're one of those people, stop it.
Exactly.
Stop the toxicity.
Because, a lot of times they didn't know I was on console. They thought I was playing Mercy like anyone else on PC. And I was like, see, we can play too.
Right.
You just got to figure out a different fingies. That's all.
Yeah, it's like, I'm
not shooting anyone like Pandy though. That's different.
There's, it's a different way to control a device. That's all it is.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're all still there to have a good time. So I think all in all, do what you enjoy. Do what makes you happy. And play what makes you happy. Don't listen to other people and reviews and things like that. Because there's been multiple times where I've really enjoyed a game or a movie, and then I hear the review on it, and it made me feel a little sour about it. But fuck that. Just do what you want. Don't be like that guy that's like, oh my god, you play this game on console. Oh my god, because nobody likes that guy.
I'm gonna be that guy.
He just needs to do some life-changing things, and then he will be liked. He or she or them.
My whole thing about console versus PC. PC, you get to customize how you want to be. You get the freedom of what you want to do. Console, you're limited in your choices. But everything's gonna run, so you got that goal for you.
It's true.
And it's a lot cheaper.
It's not gonna restart or crash. That's so rare. But to their credit, there is a lot more that you can do customization wise with your buttons now. You get those pro controllers, and there's so many paddles on the back and buttons on the front that you don't even know what to do, and you have to go into the app and you can have different setting profiles to each game that you play. Like I can say setting 1 is my Overwatch settings, number 2 is my Minecraft or whatever. But,
and that's what I'm saying. We're all coming together.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Also customizable, like how good the game looks. You can change a lot of video settings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And how smooth everything runs, depending on what parts you buy. But it's a lot more expensive.
You don't have to worry about how smooth it runs. That's what it...
Right. But the thing is if something's wrong with Xbox or PlayStation, normally if something goes wrong, it's really wrong, and it's going to be down for at least a day. PC, like I was saying before, they're troubleshooting and workarounds. But so I feel like when you're on console, you're kind of just screwed with, only or being reliant on the company that's hosting it. You know what I mean?
Or if a console breaks, you're it's just kind of dead.
Right.
Yeah, and then you just go back to entertaining yourself the old-fashioned way. Oh,
yeah.
Not that way.
But I was basically
you
console.
Walk outside
PC.
and we smell the air.
I mean, that was, they've been learning how to entertain themselves, since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
That's true. For me, PC, you get more freedom to what you want to do. Console, more limited, but a lot cheaper. So, go for it.
Yeah, my Xbox was a lot cheaper than my PC.
I don't know, when PlayStation came out, though, it was $7, or the new one, the PlayStation Pro or whatever, it's $700.
Yeah, but for a really good PC these days, we're talking thousands.
Yeah.
It's $700 just for your graphics card at this point. Or
right.
$2,000.
More than that, probably.
Yeah, the newest ones are usually $1,000 nowadays, so it's getting
1,000 to 2,000. And so, yeah, definitely, but if you're a kid and that's all you can afford, that's a hell of a great thing to play on. Like the graphics are good. You've got amazing games still. Like it's definitely the way to go.
The only reason I didn't buy a console is because I could play everything on my PC, and I felt like it was a little too elevated in price for my liking. But yeah, other than that, I bought it up to PlayStation 4. I just never got a 5. Well, of course, because there was the big thing where nobody could get one for a while.
Right, that was the era of
That's just.
all this
I also just
scalping.
Scalping. Just stop doing that. Also.
It was
Why?
ridiculous.
If you're a scalper, fuck you.
It's not just with consoles.
For
Like it's like
real.
Pokemon
Or just
cards. It's
people.
like
It's for the
Right.
latest Eevee. I'm like, girl, there it goes. I'll never get that Eevee card. But
People would do
Yeah.
that in
We're
like
just
auction
people
houses and
that
stuff.
want to play a game. Stop robbing us. We're just
In
people
video
like
games. Yeah. Like stop doing it in video games in the auction houses. Stop doing it in like in real life. You're hurting the economy.
You're
bro.
disgusting. Just let us save our money and buy what we need to at regular prices.
It's going to be okay. You don't, there's other ways to make money.
it's also. I also will say I do love the Pokemon Company for like when it does like the trading cards. When they scalp a huge like section, like look how high these prices are. They'll be like, all right, now we're gonna print a bunch and now they're worthless.
Yeah.
They'll never do that with the Eevee box. That was so
Probably
sad.
not.
I have an Eevee card in my hand right now as we're talking.
Yeah, but it was
Oh,
a whole
shit.
Eevee special Prism box that just came out in January. And I waited and I waited and I was working and I couldn't get out in time.
I
And
have
they were
some of
all
those cards, I
gone.
think.
And
Are
then
they
the only ones you
still
can now
gone?
buy are the ones that they're scalping for like
Oh no.
$700 because it's limited.
Jesus.
It made me
That's
sad.
crazy.
I think I actually have some of those Eevee cards. I'll see. I'll show you later, maybe.
Neat.
But anyways, I think that,
Yeah, tell us what your favorite way to play games is. Do you like console? Do you like PC? Do you like both?
Well,
also
you were filthy mutt like me.
one thing I'll say before we go is the people that like use keyboards on consoles for like zimming, stop doing that too. All right.
There's keyboards you can attach to your controller as well.
Yeah, but like
Wait,
there's like
zimming? Is that what you
Quickly.
called it?
yeah. So basically zimming is they like take like hardwire like a mouse and keyboard in, but they still have the aim assist for console. So it's basically cheating.
Cheater. You're still a cheater.
So
Just play.
I've never
Play
heard
and
of
have
that.
fun.
before.
What's the point of cheating?
see, Yeti, we didn't hear about because we're filthy PC players.
Right.
But I know some people that were Xbox like players or PlayStation, and it's a problem because it's an unfair
I
advantage.
do
'cause
it.
You already have the freedom and like the nice like smooth movement of mouse and keyboard, but then also get aim assist. So,
While you play in your bed.
so.
Oh man.
I love you guys.
But PC or console doesn't matter. Enjoy the games that you're playing. That's what really matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do what makes you happy. Because that's what matters.
And I think that's
But
it for this
certainly,
podcast.
I think so.
certainly let us know how you feel about it. What's your favorite cupcake?
Give us a call.
What do you like to play on? Even if it's mobile, let us know.
And for
And
Wilds, if you play it, what weapon are you using?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Love
question.
seeing everyone using different weapons. Can tell a lot about a person and what weapon they choose. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And listen, if you are a longsword user, you just
It's okay.
you gotta scream out anime every time you do something really cool. It's a must-have.
They do it all the time.
All right. Give us a call at 701-205-1501. Nobody will answer, but you'll get led to a voicemail and you can ask us a question or just say hi. That's going to be the end of this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm Arctic.
I'm Poppet.
I'm Pandy.
And you've been listening to Fluffit We're Live. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
I'm stopping the recording.